Hello and welcome back. Today we're looking at if the 10 series graphics cards or GTX is better or the 20 series graphics cards or RTX is better. So we're trying to see which one's worth more money, which one performs better, etc, etc. So go ahead and stay tuned. We'd also like to remind you to go ahead and like this video and subscribe so we can continue making great videos like this one. So we will be comparing a 1070 to a 2070, and the reason we're doing this is they're kind of the middle ground. It's not the best graphics card, it's not a 2080 or 1080, but it's also not more in budget like a 1050, 1060, 1650, all those. So it's kind of in the middle there, and that is the reason we have chosen it. And we are using a Asus Dual 1070 for the base 1070. That is a pretty standard card. It's got two fans. Idles around 50, and under load it's about 70 degrees Celsius. None of these are overclocked at all. We're doing all the base numbers, and the 2070, it is going to be the Founders Edition because I think that's also kind of the standard by NVIDIA. It's pretty standard, two fans again. I don't know the temperatures of it, but they're around the same as the 1070. So, starting off, we'd like this simple disclaimer. Obviously, the 2070 is going to be better. We're not trying to say the 1070 is going to have better performance in any way. This is mostly more about value, and it's just when a new card comes out, it's going to be better, but the value is a lot of times not as good. So you can pick up our Asus Dual 1070 for about $300. That's about its price. It's a little bit more expensive than the other graphics cards. You do have to remember the 10 series graphics cards are going to be used, so that will make them cheaper, while the 2070s are going to be completely new. So do keep that in mind, and if you do buy a 10 series graphics card, make sure you know what you're buying. If you do buy used, make sure you know they're not going to try to scam you, because that has happened in the past. So you can also pick up our normal 1070s, other brands than this one, for about $200 United States currency. So they're about $200 for a normal used ones, and for the 2070 it's about $400 for the Founders Edition. So yeah. So a big question you probably have in mind is, you notice they're double the price. 1070s are $200 while the 2070s are $400. Does double the price mean double the performance? And the answer is no, it does not mean it's going to have double the performance. And that is because when a new card comes out, it's usually a little bit more expensive, and it also has a little bit better performance, sometimes lower than other times, sometimes higher than others. So you do need to keep in mind it's not going to be double the performance, and that's why the 10 series are going to be better value. Per point of benchmark score, it's going to be more value than getting a 2070. And that's just how pretty much it always is with new graphics cards and even CPUs. It's often better value to go with a generation before it and upgrade to the next generation when the next generation comes out, if that makes any sense. So when the I think it's going to be the 30 generation cards, I don't know, I think they're like the 3700s, I don't remember what it is, but when those come out, it's probably a good time to buy that 2070 because it's going to be much cheaper than it is now. And you don't have to wait that long because they're going to be coming out within the next little while, not in a few months, but I don't know the exact release date. I don't think anyone truly knows the exact release date. But we are getting off topic. Back to the question at hand, which is if the 1070s are better than the 2070s or vice versa. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the features, because they do have different features. They both support HDR and 4K. RTX supports ray tracing. We'll have more about what ray tracing is in the description. Ray tracing is basically how reflection works on different items. So maybe on the gun in Battlefield, which does support ray tracing, you could see an explosion better than if you didn't have ray tracing on. That's pretty revolutionary, and it's probably their biggest selling point. But you also have DLSS, which is deep learning something, don't remember something or another, but it's deep learning. So you can read more about that in the description too. So you're probably asking, what about the numbers? And the numbers really, they tell a story of their own. We're going to go ahead and read off the 20 series numbers. And this is all in FPS. So CSGO has 262, GTA has 114, Overwatch has 143, PUBG has 137, Fortnite has 158. Again, all in FPS. That is an average of what everyone with a 2070 gets. So it may not be yours may have less or more. And again, this is not overclocked in any way. So we'll have more info about that in the comments. We'll have also the 1070 scores in the comments. You can go see them. You can see what benchmarks we used, how we got those numbers there. So expect to see around a 25% increase over the 10 series cards. So the 2070s are going to be about 25% in real world usage on video games versus the 10 series graphics cards. Now you can see about a 30% increase in performance on the benchmark scores. So that doesn't always tell the full story unless all you like to do is take a graphics card and do benchmarks on them, which you probably don't. You probably do more than that. So that comes to the question of which is better. That is the question we're trying to answer. Which one of these is better? Which one should you buy? And what that depends on is the budget rather than anything else. If you want the best bang for your buck card, I would advise a 1080. Those are great prices right now, and they really have a lot of performance. But if you want the best of the best, you can buy a Titan or a 2080. Still, you would want to get the next generation because obviously, like always, they are going to be better, but it's all about the budget and the price. And they are not as good value as the 10 series cards. So I think that pretty much talks for itself. Now it's conclusion time. So we want to give a big shout out to Jimbo Builds PCs. Very good channel. We support them. We're not sponsored by them, by the way, but they have been a big help. They have given us some great tips and some great information about our channel here. So here's our question of the day, which is, what graphics card do you have, and what series is it? So yeah, just put that in the comments, which one you have. But we also have a second question. This question is not the question of the day. You can just you don't even have to comment if you don't want to. But you probably noticed that our audio is better and that our background is different. And the reason is we actually upgraded our audio. That is why we took so long to make this video, is we had to get some new equipment and get it set up. We had to go ahead, and you can see more about that. We'll post what we have now in terms of our equipment. And in our background, we just changed it because you can probably tell, maybe not, that it is a green screen, and we just can change the background. But that's our little secret, okay? Thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe, and also a big thing, go ahead and follow our Twitter and follow our builds.gg. Those are what we mostly update. We update on Twitter and on builds.gg, so you can know when our next content comes out. And you can also see what we post about our equipment or whatever else we may do. So those are the best places to go ahead and follow. We'll put those in the comments below. Again, thank you for watching. We will see you next time at Custom Made PCs.